Assalamu alaikum, friends. This is Nadir Shah in Chicago, and you're watching my channel, Knowledge for Quality of Life. Friends, for the last few vlogs, we've been looking at vitamin D in the context of various types of cancer, vitamin D in the context of heart disease. Last time we looked at it, vitamin D in the context of diabetes and insulin resistance. Today, I'm going to look a little bit into vitamin D in the context of neurodegenerative issues. Now, remember that, I've been saying this in my various vlogs, that there are many factors goes in maintaining a good health for different parts of the body to function the way nature has designed us. It's not the unique one thing which serves as a silver bullet. So don't think that, vitamin D is going to fix everything. Vitamin D is one of the major player which provides the raw material, basic raw material through the VDRs, which we spoke in the earlier vlogs as vitamin D receptors. Throughout our body, there are cells at various levels which has an embedded, so to speak, a chip by nature that, it's called vitamin D receptors. And those receptors bind to the cells at various cellular level. Now, these vitamin D receptors are found in brain as well. So, of course, D is going to play a major role in providing all the necessary raw materials in the proper functionality of a brain function. Now, again, I'm saying that, D is not going to fix everything. That's the basic fundamental thing, but it involves many other factors as well. Which we will talk in when we do the various types of testing, which I do for myself and my family. And in the current slides, I'm going to talk about a little bit about omega-3 and magnesium as well. So let me share my screen with you. You are seeing the first screen here, a vitamin D level in the blood and mental health state. This study was done at University of Alberta in Canada, and they have looked at it various mental health status amongst people and based on the vitamin D level in the blood. And you see that on the x-axis, you have nanomoles per liter, which they use in Canadian units, and translated into nanograms, which we use normally in United States and other countries as well. So if you look at the y-axis, the probability of being in the best health state. So now these are the four areas they looked at it. First is emotional health. Second is self-perceived mental health. The third is self-perceived general health. And then fourth one is self-perceived stress. So if you see that, they have observed that, vitamin D level from lowest to the highest, these curves are drawn. This is the observational data. And these curves are drawn. So as you see that, when people move from lower vitamin D up to higher vitamin D level, their improvement in each respective state of their health improved. But the point is that, if you look at the convergence of these confidence level curves is converging at around 40, which is 100 nanomoles per liter, which is the bare minimum. If you recall my previous vlogs, I've been saying that 40 to 60 is the optimum based on the experts which they've been recommending based on their long-term studies for various non-communicable diseases. And the next one is effect of vitamin D and magnesium supplementation on children with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So the population included 66 children. Red stands for baseline, and this was 8-week supplementation study. And if you look at what they have done, that they have taken the 4 areas: conduct problems, social problems, psychosomatic problems, and anxiety and shyness. And they have, given in the y-axis problem score scale. So if you look at it, they have combined the two groups they have discussed here, vitamin D and magnesium supplementation as well. So as we know that magnesium is a mineral which involves in over 300 enzymatic activities throughout the body. So it's one of the very potent mineral in our body. Just like, majority of the people are D deficient, majority of people are magnesium deficient as well. They are deficient in magnesium. Now, when I'll talk about the testing, I will discuss a little bit, what kind of a test I do for myself and my family to make sure that, we are at the optimum in the magnesium mineral, and what kind of a supplement I take, or what kind of a concoction I make to get my magnesium daily allowance. So the first one, if you look at it, they have looked at vitamin D plus magnesium group and then the placebo group. So in placebo, of course, it's a sweet pill that didn't do anything. So conduct problem, you see that, when they have combined vitamin D and magnesium, they have seen the problem score scale 20% lower from the baseline. So it means that the condition improved by 20%. It went 20% lower. So the response was pretty good with the combination of vitamin D and magnesium. As we expected, that placebo group didn't see any improvement. On the contrary, it went 1% higher from the baseline. Of course, nothing was done. The group was given the sweet pill, basically. The second area, social problems, if you see that, when they have combined vitamin D and magnesium, the score improved, which is 22% lower. And in placebo group, it moved from 10.4 to 10.6, means 2% higher. Again, in psychosomatic problems, the vitamin D and magnesium group show the improvement. It went 3%, it shows 3% lower, and in the placebo group, it didn't budge. It was a 0% increase. So nothing, before baseline was 9, and after that 8 weeks of supplementation, it was 9 as well. In the anxiety and shy category, if you see that, vitamin D and magnesium showed the improvement, and the result was 17% lower as compared to the placebo group, where it didn't show any increase at all. The next one is effect of total magnesium intake per day on cognitive assessment score. Now, magnesium, as I said, that it's a third mineral, important mineral in our body that requires in over 300 enzymes, productions or functions. And if you see here, the reference was made at anybody who took 232 milligram per day is as a reference. And this y-axis is a difference in cognitive assessment score. And then second one is anywhere the dosage was 232 to 310 milligrams per day. Then fourth one was 311 to 412 milligrams per day. And then fourth category was greater than 412 milligrams per day. I'll talk a little bit more in detail on the magnesium when I do the separate vlog on magnesium. But remember that magnesium intake gives someone a side effect of loose bowel movement. So everybody requirement may be different. Like for instance, I take around 800 milligram a day. My wife takes around 400 because we are all different. And if I go over 800, then I see the changes in my bowel movement. So then you back off. So whatever you are taking, and of course you have to test again that what your range is coming. Are you in the optimum category or not? I'll talk little bit more when we do the magnesium testing and how to mitigate if you have a low score. How I did it when I was observed that my magnesium intake was not there at all, and I was completely ignorant of this fact that magnesium is one of the important factor in overall maintenance of a good health. So if you see that from reference, as you move higher to the magnesium intake per day, your cognitive assessment score moved higher. So again, magnesium is also important in your maintaining of good heart health as well. And next one is, if you look at this change in depression, anxiety, stress, and sleep scores after 8 weeks of placebo. So there are 4 categories here. So one group was just given a sweet pill. The study group was 42. This is an observation. The second group was given just omega-3. Now, omega-3 is fatty acids, which we can take in the form of fish pills, fish oil gel caps, or we can eat a raw fish. Of course, cooked fish, or fish as a food. There are certain fish which are very good in omega-3s, like wild-caught salmon, sockeye, or mackerel. These are oily fish, and we will talk about it. There is a special test for omega-3 index as well, that how much one should be within the range. And range is like 8 to 12% is the optimum, and average American is somewhere around 3% or below. Whereas compared to the Japanese, who eat a lot of seafood items, they are pretty high in the omega-3 index. So the orange group was given just omega-3, and then green group was given just vitamin D, and blue group was combined with omega-3 and vitamin D as well. So if you see here that the change in the score, if you are negative, they observed that negative is towards the improvement, and if you are in the positive, you are worsening in your score. So if you see the placebo, of course, depression, anxiety, stress, sleep quality, here the results are marked. And if you see the just omega-3 and just vitamin D, you will see the improvement in each category, but the improvement was not as drastic as it was observed when you have combined vitamin D along with omega-3. So it means that, the point I've been saying in my few vlogs as well, that vitamin D is a most crucial element, but when you combine with certain cofactors, and of course, omega-3 is one of the cofactor which body requires. And if you combine with, your vitamin D in your blood level, it gives you a phenomenal results in overall health. The next one is the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease by vitamin D status. Again, this is just a single parameter we are looking at, vitamin D. Of course, in this neurodegenerative disease, it includes many factors. One of the factors is also being insulin resistance. Then the cholesterol itself. You need a decent amount of cholesterol in your body for your brain or your brain functions to thrive, because our brain is about 2 to 3% of our body weight, where the consumption requirement of total cholesterol for the body, the brain requires only almost 25% of it. So many factors goes into brain function and brain health as well. But we are looking at just vitamin D here. So when we looked at it, vitamin D level in the blood, less than 20 nanograms per milliliter or less than 50 nanomoles per liter, the one risk is, let's say one is our reference, right? In the dementia category, then when person took the supplementation of vitamin D and they raised their level by greater than or equal to 20 nanograms per milliliter, then their dementia risk lowered from 1 being the reference range to 0.76. That's 24% lower risk. And in Alzheimer's category, it's pretty much in line. From 1 to it dropped to 0.75, which is 25% lower risk. So, and if somebody wants to read more about it, I have included many references in my description of this vlog. But the person I've been reading for brain health and this is neurodegenerative diseases being dementia and Alzheimer's is Dr. Dale Bredesen. And he's the authority on this subject. And if somebody wants to read it on this, I would strongly recommend his books and his papers to read, and you will gain a lot. Let me share my screen here. So in essence, what we looked at it that, how vitamin D is one major player in maintaining a good brain health overall in the context of vitamin D level. Next time, I will look into something which is very contemporary, but it's been around for some time, and there's enough research. We have documentation in the papers and in the periodicals, in the scientific literature, that how to protect yourself against a respiratory disease. And of course, COVID is one of the main contemporary which we are going through this pandemic. And since 2019 December, we are in this still. And I'm sure that we will be with this virus for a long time to come, because influenza virus is almost 102 years old, and still we have a flu throughout the winter season, from year to year over year. So we will look at some ground data, and I'll share some experience as well myself, that how I used to get flu frequently before, and what is my status now after maintaining my good vitamin D level since 2015. Until then, see you. Bye.